Hi, this is Jan Reardon, and I am the host of the Kindest Connection, which is a fabulous show that we are able to air every third Thursday of each month. And this particular Thursday here in March, on March 17th, I have two very, very special guests near and dear to my heart. I've enjoyed every show so far, but the fact that I have the guest that I have with me today means a great deal to me. And I just wanted to be able to introduce Jen, my brother Mike, and his wife Jennifer Reardon's children. I have Josh Reardon here, and he is 14 years old, and I have Avery Reardon here, and she is 16. So today we are going to discuss very openly and looking forward to having a nice conversation. Oops, I'm sorry, I left out Aspen Reardon over here, this cute little girl. She is my other niece, and we'd love to have Aspen here with us as well. And we have all our Sparky Kindness Bears, thanks to Vermont Teddy Bear. They created this bear in honor of Jennifer Reardon for her mantra of being kind, loving, caring, and sharing. So we have Kindness Bears that have brought a lot of compassion and love to many, many people. Vermont Teddy Bear has been fabulous with endorsing the mantra that Jen had. And so today we're going to talk about being able to look at kindness through a young adult's perspective. You know, as adults, we might have some preconceived notion of what kindness means, but I think it's really important to know how that begins and how, in this day and age, with all of the bullying going on in schools and just the world is obviously in a tough place right now, and how young adults can really make a difference in the world. So I'd like to start by just asking my first question to Avery and to Josh, and we'll take it from there. But I'd like to begin with you, Josh, if I may, and just ask you what your definition of kindness is.
So, so kindness to me is really just what you put out in the world is what comes back to you in a kind way. And if you put out something that's kind in a very nice and polite way, or you're there for somebody,
Yes.
It's the best way to just have happiness and kindness in the world. And every day we strive to make the world a better place. So just by a helping hand is always the biggest part of kindness. And so, yeah, that's what I think. And I believe that kindness is
Beautiful. That's a great perspective. How about you, Avery? What are your thoughts on what kindness, the definition of kindness to you?
I would say it's not always the big things in life, but just the little things you do for people, like holding the door, complimenting them, or just being respectful towards people.
Very nice. I love it. I love it. Let's see what else we have here. How do you feel as though kindness has impacted your life, Josh?
so in my life, like it's I grew up with a fortunate, very lucky to have two great parents that raised me amazingly. And so kindness to me would be anything that they do for me to help me or to comfort me. Like it could be making me breakfast, it could be buying me a bat, it could be like giving me a ride to school. Like it's all the like Avery said, it's like the little things in life that people do for you that you don't really understand. And a lot of people take it for granted. And I always try to think about how that is impacting my life.
Good, I love it. Yeah, a lot of people overlook those little things that happen, and when you stop and think about it, it really fills you up to know how other people care about you and how much that can make you feel better about yourself as well. How about you, Avery? What would you say?
I would say that with the kindness that I'm given, I'm able to share it with other people. So with having such kind parents and people around me who really care and love for me, I think it's really easy for me to take how they love me and show that towards other people.
Perfect. And that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Josh, how would you say that kindness could help to reduce bullying in school?
That's a great question. So bullying in schools is not a good thing, obviously. And it's hard for a lot of people to go through somebody who's bullying you because you feel like you don't have help sometimes. But when someone's getting bullied, the bully always has something going on with them to make them feel this way, to make them want to hurt other people.
Mhm.
And so if you show them more kindness than like you know how to show, you just give them as much kindness as possible. I feel that that can really fix a lot of bullies' mentalities to the way they treat people. Um, so yeah.
Good, good. How about you, Avery? What would you say could be done to reduce bullying?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I think that instead of having harsh reactions to bullies with putting them in detention or kind of, I don't know, just giving them harsh words, it should be like things that they could do to be kind towards community. And if you see that someone is being bullied, I think that as kids, we should step in first and try to give them ways to be kind to others because we're the same age, so we know how to connect to that, or we can help more than like if older people have to get involved. It might be different from their point of view. So I
Good
think
point.
just showing kindness to them and showing them ways to be kind to people instead of bullying people.
Right? So Josh, could you give us an example of something that you have done or has been done to you or both regarding kindness or compassion or understanding? Like what comes to mind for you?
So like I said, I grew up in a very kind family that just always was there for me whenever I needed anything. And so I don't think that there's one really big thing that sticks out that was the kindest. I think that everything that is done for me is just done with such care and kindness. And so I'm very fortunate to have that. A lot of people don't have that. And I want them to have that. And that's like one of the main reasons for this podcast or this TV show, sorry. And my dad's foundation, that's like one of the main purposes of it is to just go out in the world and show people that there are good people out here that care for them and that want them to be good. So, yeah, but there's not just one big thing. It's everything that I do for other people mostly, and everything that's done to me that could be making a waffle or uh, giving me a boat ride or anything that is just something that to be grateful for. And I'm grateful every day for everything that I ever have. And sometimes when I'm not grateful, I just think about the times that I need to be grateful and the things that I have. And there's a lot of unfortunate people out there, which is really unfortunate. So I think that just my life is very kind and
Blessed.
caring and blessed.
Right. How do you think you can carry that forward into the community so that more people will have just even a bit of that in their heart?
So yeah, that's kind of what the foundation is all about. It's really just giving to people that don't have kindness in their life, or they're just feeling down and they just can't get themselves back together. So giving is just a very great thing. I think that our foundation really displays that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the foundation?
So our family's motto was always to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. And so my dad started a foundation for my mom. It's about just giving back to the community what they gave to us and really just displaying how kind our Albuquerque is really, because Albuquerque is a great city to live in, and we just want to display how it is. And I think we're 26th, we're the 26th kindest city in the world or in the country. So we're trying to get to number one, but I mean, it's just be kind to people, and it always lightens their day and makes people feel happy.
That's awesome. How about you, Abe? What do you think as far as, either a kind act that you've done or somebody has done for you to get you to where you are today?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's the small things. I don't think there's one big thing that stands out, kind of like Josh said.
Right.
But I think what the foundation is doing are the really big things that stand out to me, like giving back to our community or my team for volleyball. We go do food drives and stuff beautiful. Like that. So I think those things, just giving back to the community, like even if you're not hands-on with someone, helping them on the street, just being able to go to Roadrunner Food Bank is a great place to go to. not package meals for homeless, and it could be as big as that, or just holding the door for someone and
Exactly.
saying thank
Right.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. Josh, how about, let me see how I really want to word this, but what would you say you can do when you're not really feeling kind? And it happens to all of us. We can't deny that there are moments when we're down and it's a little bit more challenging to be harder to be kind at that time. How can you be kind under stress and under duress? Because that's when I think other people lash out, and that's what we have to diffuse. So how do you do that yourself?
So to me, this is kind of like a personal question because everybody handles it differently. To think about, now for me, I have a lot of stuff that I could just think about and be grateful for, and that gets me back in the kindness mood. But I want to talk about people that don't have stuff to be grateful for. And I've always wondered how they get back to being kind. Because there's a lot of kind people out there that really, they could not be kind if they like, because of their situation.
Exactly.
But they are. And for me, what I think happens is they find hope. They find hope for themselves. They find hope for others. They find a way to be kind in a hopeful way. And so much as giving them $1 to go get food, or giving them a meal, or giving them a drink, or giving them a pillow, or giving them a blanket,
Right.
just all these things just puts hope in their soul to go another day, to survive another day, and to move on, keep progressing.
Right. In small increments like that, right? Don't look too far ahead. Just kind of stay in that moment and try to feel better.
Because I feel that it always works out in the long run for those people.
Definitely. That's great. How about you, Avery?
I would say that it is hard for me to be kind whenever I am in a hard, tough situation, or if I'm stressed about school. So I think the first thing I need to do is be kind to myself and take a moment to just have some self-care within myself, take care of my body, take care of my mental state. And until then, just kind of be as kind as I can to people. Just instead of, I don't have to go out of my way to be kind to them. Instead, be kind to myself first, but don't be rude to them, and just kind of let them do their thing until I figure out my thing, and then I can go back to going out of my way to be kind to them.
Great. That's good. That's healthy. That's what we need to do. And that makes for a better community, better relationships, better friendships. So let's see, Ace, can you tell us a little bit about the junior board and what the goals are as you're involved, and maybe just tell us a little bit about the Jennifer Rubin Foundation, given your role as a member of the junior board.
Yeah, so the first meeting we had for the junior board was kind of a while ago. We haven't really met again since then, but I remember at that meeting we did talk about doing things for homeless and food drives and stuff like that. We also picked a nonprofit to give money to, and I feel like that is a great way to help in the community. There's a lot of profits out there that are helping, and instead of being hands-on with people, and if you don't want to do volunteer work, and if you are fortunate enough, giving money toward people who are helping others is a great way to help the community.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's good. How about you, Josh? What is your take as far as your role and how it impacts the community by what you do on the Jennifer Rubin Foundation Junior Board?
Yeah, so me and Avery, we came to that with an idea of a junior board, and he was hands-on with it. He said that it was a great idea, and so we run it out of the Albuquerque Community Foundation building. And yeah, so Avery kind of covered it. It's a nonprofit. We give it out to a nonprofit almost like every 6 months, I'd like to say. And it's just really a way it's me and Avery's way to be a part of what my dad has created, and really give back to the community as a young kid or as a young adult.
Right.
So to give back to the community in a different way as a board, it's really nice.
Good. Do you feel as though your friends have noticed a difference in you now that you are so focused on sharing kindness?
So you'd have to ask them that question. But
do you notice a difference in yourself?
Yeah, I feel that have become more of a kind person because of our foundation and because of what you're doing. Like every person that just wants to help just warms my heart because this is really what my mom would want.
Exactly.
So this is just really warms my heart. So yeah.
Perfect. I love it. How about you, Avery?
I would say, yeah, I would say before I was kind, but I think I'm very more like approach to it, and I understand how to be kind to people. If I see someone down, I can cheer them up and just more prone to it.
Good. Yeah. And how about at school, Josh? Are there any programs that are in place that revolve around kindness or sharing compassionate, understanding ways?
So we go to me and Avery both go to a great school. Avery's a sophomore, I'm an eighth grader. And so we go to a very fortunate school in a way that they want you to be kind to others. They want you to be yourself. They don't want you to just be another kid.
Right.
They want you to grow as a human being, as yourself, and not as anybody else. And so they have so many like different clubs there, and you can join any of them. There is a kindness club at our school, and they do a lot of stuff for the community. I think kindness does start with the community, in my opinion. Actually, kindness starts with yourself, and then goes to your community. But yeah, so our school has a kindness club, and they go around and they're just very kind to other people. And sometimes they give a cookie to the kid that's sad, or sometimes just the little things, like Avery said, that really lighten a kid's day when they're feeling bad.
Good, I love it. How about you, Ace? What do you say about the school as far as some different programs that are in place that help?
Yeah, there's another club called Helping Hands that I was with last year, and one of the little things that we did was during the food drive for the elderly people, we went and we gave roses and just a nice card to the people, just to lighten their day, just something small to do for them. Also, our school is connected with the app, so everyone at our school if they see an act of kindness, they're able to log it. So I think our school is doing really good involving kindness throughout.
Wonderful. And do you find that that's the case at most schools, or is that unusual?
Yeah, I feel like some schools are doing better with kindness, and our app is actually connected towards some schools throughout Albuquerque. There are some schools that have difficulty with it because of the students or just the district that it's in, but I feel like there are kind people there, and I think those people struggle with being kind towards the other kids because they feel like it's different, and it's hard to be different, especially in high school. But I think once those kids reach out and are kind towards others, that kindness is going to be spread everywhere.
It would be nice to just think of it as the new normal.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden it's just, that's the way it is. And
Exactly.
It becomes part of our DNA, really. It's more of the culture.
Yeah.
Josh, maybe you can tell us a little bit about our day yesterday when we went over to Jess's kindergarten class and how great that felt.
Yeah.
Just
So
give us a little background on that.
We went over to a kindergarten classroom, and we got to really just put a light on kids' day there. And I don't know if they were having a bad day or not, and some of them were having a good day, and this made it better. But all I know is this particular moment made those kids so happy, and it just warmed my heart to see every little kid so happy. And so we went over and we really just told them or talked to them about kindness and how what they have done to help us, because everyone has helped the community in different ways through kindness or just through like helping someone. And so, but yeah, so we got to go over there and we really just got to be with the kids and hear what they've done for the community. And it was really nice.
Good. Abe, what do you have to say about our day yesterday over in the classroom?
I would say that it was really heartwarming to know that even 5-year-olds understand the concept of what kindness is. It was so cool to hear. We asked each one of them to stand up and talk about one kind thing they did, and it was super cool to hear the nice things they were doing within their family or at school. And I think it was really like they loved the bear. They were so intrigued with Sparky. They loved him so much. And I think it's just really cool to understand that, like, it's hard to understand kindness sometimes, but it sounds like these kids have such a good grasp of it. And they were so grateful when we gave them bracelets. And so that made their day. And it was good to know that they were starting their day off with a kind thing, or just even thinking about something kind they did and they can redo that. And I know some of the other kids were helping just their friends in the classroom. So it was
Exactly,
good to hear
instantly.
that.
It was, it really was. Josh, what would you say, you get up in the morning, do you try to, take a minute and start your day with that grateful heart? Or does it come throughout the day? Like, how would you describe like the best day that you could have for yourself?
So my best day would be probably every day. I mean, I wake up to a great house and a roof over my head and water and food, um, and I'm just grateful for that right off the bat.
So
And
you think about that when you get up, you feel that?
so I'm going to be honest, not every time,
Yeah, of course
not
not.
always, but I try to. That's the biggest part of the day is the morning, is when you wake up, how you feel, how
Right.
you're going to act that day, how you're going to get up and push through the day. And there's going to be hatred. There's going to be stuff throughout the day that you're not going to like. It's how you can come back from that and
Exactly.
answer to that. So
Perfect. How about you, Avery? When you start the day out, what's your plan for the day? How do you go into it?
I would say that being kind to myself first is a really big thing, and starting the day off, telling myself how to be kind to myself, and just really taking care of my body. And then I would say just again the little things. When I see someone, if I think they look good, then I'll let them know. And
Nice.
I think it does come throughout the day for me. If people are treating me kind, then I have a more want to be kind to other people. But I feel like I am grateful for, in each morning, it's good to know that, like, I know that there will be kind people around me at some
Good.
point.
Good.
Yeah, it's great.
So Josh, what do you think about fast forward Josh Reardon's, 21 years old? What do you want to see as yourself as a young man?
I want to see compassion. It would be the biggest part. I would want to see just I would want to see Albuquerque being so kind that people want uh, to be around each other and to see each other. So yeah, so I just think that in the future, the world could be a lot kinder than it already is. A lot kinder. And so uh, I think that every day we just get even more kind, and hopefully when I'm 21, we can be the number one kindest city in the world.
How about you, Abe? You're fast forward, you're 21 years old. What do you see yourself looking like at that point?
I would hope to be able to be kind towards others still, and just like more. And instead of doing little things, I think it would be good to start doing bigger things. And also just like reaching out to more people to be kind, not in Albuquerque, but other places as well. I agree with Josh, being the number one city would be great.
Right.
And I think just carrying on the legacy of always being kind, living, caring, and sharing is the best we can do with things. And I think just always being kind towards others is kind of where I see it.
Good.
Yeah.
And then, Josh, can you think of a time when, say, you were at school or at baseball and you saw one of the guys or girls, at school that was a little down, not having a good day? How would you handle that?
Well, sometimes someone just needs time to put it out there, just cry, just do whatever. But so I would just kind of approach them, and if they asked me to leave them be, I'd just leave them be, and then in an hour I'd go back and check on them and make sure they were okay. But if someone just needs a hug or needs a helping hand, something, it's always nice to know that. For me, it's always nice to know that you're here for me.
Right.
You're here
Thank
if
you.
I'm down and I need a
Absolutely.
hug or I need something, right? You're here
Absolutely.
for that. I mean, not just that, but I'm just saying, like,
Sure,
you're here
yeah.
for me,
Right.
and you are here for me because you're my sister. Like, so I just have a lot of people that are there for me, but some kids don't have anybody, and so just to be that person for somebody is a really big thing.
Beautiful. How about you, Abe? Have you noticed somebody that's down, and how would you handle that?
Yeah, I think the first thing to do is just ask them if they're okay. And if they don't want to talk about it, then you did what you could to help them at that point. Just checking in with them like continuously, I think is good. Maybe not like 2 seconds later, but a little like an hour or two later, just making sure that they're okay, because all you can do is help. All you can do is ask, yeah. And if they don't want to talk about it, then that's okay, and that's on them. I think just checking in with them and checking in, especially if it gets like super bad with their other peers or teachers or guardians, just making sure that they're okay, and maybe like bring them a treat to school or just act extra kind to them that day.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
We only have about 5 minutes left, so why don't we, just give a shout out to your dad as far as the foundation and what he has done and what type of impact that has had on your life. I mean, you've talked about kindness, and thankfully you've had that since you were born. But now things, have changed, and you have both done an amazing job accepting the reality and watching your dad really carry the mantra of your mom through you out into the world. So what would you say, Josh, that you're most grateful for as far as all that your dad has done, whether it be the foundation or other than that?
I'm just grateful that he's here for us every day.
That's right.
Right? He wants our opinion on stuff that really is not our voice to say anything. And so he is not only carrying mom's legacy, he wants us to be a part of it.
Exactly.
He wants us to be involved with it. He doesn't want us to just sit there and watch it work.
Exactly.
He wants like every decision that he makes is passed by us.
Yes. Which
Now,
is beautiful.
maybe some decisions we don't like, but he'll still do because that's what needs to happen. But it's kind of like a presidency. Almost,
yes, absolutely.
He's the president and we're just the council, and we just listen and we just
advise.
We just
your perspective is important.
Really tell him what we see and how we would fix it, and or how we would do it, and he takes it into accountability, and that's really what I appreciate, because he can't always take our opinion 100% of the time, and I don't expect him to. But I do expect him to listen, and he really does do that. So I really just thank him for that. So, Dad, if you're listening.
And along the same lines, I mean, I don't think we could come up with a better example, unfortunately, of somebody taking, a complete, tragedy and turning it into something that has provided so much good. Mm-hmm. And so for that, what comes to mind for you if you were to describe your dad to somebody who didn't know him, and somebody that comes out of such tragedy and sets such an example for a way to get through that? You say like power through. How would you describe your dad?
The strongest, kindest man in the world.
I agree.
The person that if you need a helping hand, he's there right away. And the person that is there for you when you don't have anybody. The person that I want to live up to is Michael Rubin.
There you go. All right. How about you, Ames? What would you say to that whole scenario of taking the most tragic situation possible and finding just something good about it and carrying on, which you've done? How do you attribute, that to your dad instilling that in you?
I feel like the biggest thing for me was the isotopes game when we did the big kindness thing. That was such a good, happy feeling. And
just talk a little bit about that event, because that was awesome. I'm glad you brought that up.
So we actually there was an isotopes game, and we just
the kindness night.
Yeah, it was a kindness night at the park, and we had our booth, and we were giving things away, and we connected people with the app. So that was really good, and I think that's when I noticed that we did make such a bad thing in life something good, and we found a positive in it. And I think that our whole family is so strong for that. And I think none of us could have done it without anyone, especially my dad.
Exactly.
But I think the foundation is just a way to show love and kindness through our family and also to other people. I think it's good for other people to see the love that our family has.
Absolutely. Yeah. What an example.
Yes.
He's the hardest working man you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And speaking, you referred to the app, and obviously I know what the app is, but can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So the app is, you can go to the internet and search the Jennifer Reardon Foundation, and you can go to My Kindest app. And you can, every time you, so you log in, and every time you see an act of kindness or receive an act of kindness, you can just put it in there, and everybody can go through and see your acts of kindness, and it's just you reached 1 million acts
Yes,
of kindness like a month or two ago, and that was really good.
Big celebration
Yeah,
for
it was
that.
a big celebration, and so now we're just pushing through and trying to
Getting
keep
to 2
logging
million,
that. Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And like the kindergarten kids said yesterday,
Yeah.
what was their number? They said instead of like hitting 1 trillion, what did they say?
They
had
said Google.
yeah, like the biggest number they could think of, right? So, right. Josh, what about, can you tell us a little bit more about the app, some of the acts of kindness that have been logged on there that stick out in your mind?
So, so acts of kindness on the app, they can be anonymous and they can be put out there, but there's so many good people in the world, and like every time you look at them, you're just like, there is people in the world that care and want to be kind, and so it ranges from 1 million cans of soup to food bank to help someone pick up trash.
Exactly.
Like it just ranges from everything. And I think that's what we love so much about it is there's like 1 billion different kind acts that you can do in the world.
Exactly.
And I think that we've seen all 1 billion.
Right. And what I like about the way it's posted, it's not, you can post what you do, you can post what you saw somebody else do, but I love the fact that that just makes you feel better. When you read about something that somebody else did, or you hear about something that somebody else did, it doesn't have to be, you're not even involved, but it just makes you feel good about human kindness. And the fact that, the more of that you hear, it just sets a tone for a better culture.
Yeah, and I would say if you are having a down day, one of
Yeah.
the ways to be kind to others is just read some of the
There you go.
kind
That's a great point. It really does. It lifts your spirits. You just feel like, we're just a little part of this big world. And sometimes we get weighed down with our, day-to-day issues, but then you look at the bigger picture and you realize, there's many more things that are more important than certainly than material things. And it's great to recognize somebody for that gift that they have of being loving.
Mhm.
So we only have a minute left. Any questions that either one of you would like to ask me?
Why did you want to start this TV show?
Oh, I wanted to start this because we had had a podcast that was running, and that was fun, but it wasn't reaching as many people. And thankfully, Channel 17, which is Town Meeting TV right in Burlington, Vermont, I put in a proposal and they were willing to try this, which was a little bit out of their box. But again, in this day and age, people are gravitating toward things such as this. And thankfully, they were gracious enough to make my request a reality. And this is the 3rd episode so far. And it is something that I would love to continue with. And just even if 1 or 2 people take something away from this, each episode, I will feel as though it was worthwhile. And the support that I've had from Town Meeting TV warms my heart.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the Neon's flyer?
Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll call it a wrap. But right, last year when we were really going through this, awareness of acts of kindness, Dion's was a local partner, which was amazing. And here is the flyer that they were able to put on every pizza that was sold.
Yeah, and it just talks about the app and how to get signed up so that everybody is logging acts of kindness.
And it worked. It was great. And Dion stepped right up, and they were just a fabulous partner. There have been so many wonderful partners here in Albuquerque. And again, as I mentioned, back in Vermont, Town Meeting TV has been great. And also Vermont Teddy Bear, we have a couple of other collaborations underway. Colchester High School, which is where Jen graduated from, has planted a tree. And now their art students are working on mosaic tiles to tell the story of Jen being kind, loving, caring, sharing that will surround the tree as you enter into the school, because that school was near and dear to her heart. And this is a way for her legacy to carry on locally as well as nationally as it has. But this is it, kids. It's a wrap. So you just have to remember to be nice to me once we turn this camera off. Okay, do I have a yes?
Do we have a yes?
I'm there. Okay, that's a wrap. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.